Open your Bible. Brother Kole, run to the altar with your Bible. Come and read for me Exodus 17. Read verse 8 and verse 9. Exodus 17. Everybody, open your ears. Open your ears. Exodus 17.
Exodus 17, 8 and 9. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand.
I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. You can go back to your seat. God bless you. I want us to read it together. Exodus 17 verse 8 and 9. Now he have read, but let's read it together. Verse 8 and 9. 1 to go. Then came the Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And verse 9. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of God. Number one, there is no battle that God cannot overcome. God is your battle fighter. God is my battle fighter. And God is our battle fighter. Anyone that makes God his warrior can never be a loser. Because God can never lose any battle. Can you say better amen? Number two, before God will embark on any journey of battle, he will choose a man. He will choose a man. God will always fight war with a man. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That man can be male or female figure, but he must choose a man. And everybody listen to me. According to history, Bible history, you understand that before God will fight any nation or judge any nation, judge any society or community or generation, he will first of all send a prophet to warn that nation or warn that generation before his judgment, because he is a merciful God and he will always show his mercy before judgment. The mercy of God will always surface before his judgment will come. Praise the living God. If you are warned by God, either through a prophet or an apostle or anyone, and you repent, God will have mercy. God can never judge any city without sending a prophet to warn that city. God can never judge any generation without sending a prophet to warn that generation. Now, prophets are not pastors. Prophets they speak with authority. When God will send a messenger of his to any nation, he will not send a pastor, he will send a prophet. Because prophets, they go to speak out. Praise the living God. That is their calling. That is what God appointed them to do. And I want to assure you tonight that as you hear the word of God tonight, there will be a transformation in your spiritual life. So many of you here tonight came with an impending question in your heart that have been troubling you. The Lord shall give you an answer to that question. Now, this place we read, the Bible said something about Amalek. These were the same people that stood against Israel. They never wanted Israel to make it to the promised land. When Israel came out from the wilderness, from Egypt, they blocked their way. They became obstacles to them. And God never forget whatever your enemies have done. Even if it takes 100 years, he will still come to fight. I don't know the promise God made for you, for your family, and you have been waiting for it for many years. But my spoken word tonight, I declare, before the end of 2018, that battle you shall win it. And the Lord shall give you testimony. I cannot hear your amen. Jump up and shout a thunderous amen to the Lord. Now, who was the man that God chose in this particular place to fight this battle? Moses by name. But there was something that the Bible recorded which I want to open your eyes to. Listen to me, nobody is an island. Can you stand up and say to 5 people, you need me, I need you. We need each other. There is nobody that can come out and say, me alone. Can I ask you a question? If you wake up tomorrow morning and find out that you are the only body, you are the only person living in the land of Dubai, you come to the street, nobody. Your building, nobody. You see nobody, but you see buildings and cars. Will you be comfortable? I'm asking you a question, somebody here. Praise the living God. We need each other. Lift up your one hand. Clap it alone. Clap it alone. But the other hand, this one you lifted up is jealous of this one, saying, I can do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. Without the cooperation of the other hand, this one cannot clap. Lift up one hand. Lift up the other one. Clap it. It is easy because the two hands cooperated. We are in agreement. We shall work together. We shall clap together. We shall serve God together. I will not stop you. You will not stop me. I will not jealous you. You will not jealous me. Play your part. Let me play my part. And God shall be glorified. I cannot hear that. Amen. Why are you jealousing me? Because I am doing what God asked me to do. Do your own. Let me do my own. And the kingdom will grow. The church will grow. The society will grow. The family will grow. I cannot hear that. Amen. Just play your part. Then another example, stand up now. Walk with one leg. Come to the altar with one leg. Come on, come on. You can do it. Come on, come on. You are doing it, but it's hard. You are doing it, but because when you come, start, keep coming. You can't walk from here to Sharjah like this. You break down on the way. Huh? But walk with two legs. Then go back to your seat with two legs. You see how easy it is. Why is he walking with two legs? Because the other one said, I will support you. I will help you. Let us work together. Can somebody say better amen? Even though Moses was the one that God chose to fight that battle, but he needed help. He needed support. He cannot do it. No matter how powerful you are in this life, you need somebody. No matter how anointed you are, you need somebody. No matter how educated you are, let me tell you somebody here, no matter how gifted you are, if somebody did not announce you, you will remain where you are. There must be somebody that will recommend you to somebody that will recommend you to somebody that will finally recommend you to your destiny helpers. Before you become who you are today, somebody recommended you to somebody. No matter how talented you are, it is your destiny advertisers that will recommend you to your destiny helpers. Destiny advertisers, they don't have anything to give you. They only play a role in your life. They recommend you to those that will help you. Then your destiny helpers can never locate you except your destiny advertisers recommend you to them. The last business you did that gave you breakthrough, you don't know who announced that man, who announced you to that man. And the person that, the worst part is that some of these people that announces you to great men and women, they are your blackmailers. Because they say evil against you. And that person will say, this man they are talking like this, and I want to see him. And by the time he finally sees you, he will say, no, he doesn't look as if he is evil. Because people that scandalizes you, they end up announcing you to people that will help you. So we have three types of destiny helpers. Number one is your destiny blackmailers. They are the first set, the ones that don't like you, the one that blackmails you, the ones that say evil about you, the ones that never see anything good about your life. Let me tell you something. You need people that hate you for you to rise. You need people that don't like you for you to rise. Is somebody hearing me now? If everybody loves you, you cannot rise. Then the second one are those that advertises you. The advertisers are those that recommend you to others. For example, those of you who are into the cargo business in Dubai, you do visas. Before someone can call you on phone and say, I want a visa. I want you to do visa for me. someone might have given him your phone number. All the people that came to you, it is somebody that recommended them to you. Somebody say amen. Amen. Verse 10. Exodus 17 verse 10. Before we read verse 10, I want to let you know something, brothers and sisters, that God decided to finish Amalek because of what they did to Israel. And he said to Moses, it is time for you to fight. And one of the warriors that Moses had was Joshua. Joshua was a very powerful man. And Moses said to him, you are the one that will choose men. But for you to be victorious, for you to fight and win, for you to keep on receiving strength until you finish this war, I must be on top. I must be on top. Everybody listen to me. Don't be detached from the source of your strength. When a particular tree detaches itself from the root, the tree dries off. I will be on top so that I will keep receiving grace from heaven to support you for you to continue fighting. And so far, I, Moses, your spiritual father, stays on top, you will win this battle. Amen. No wonder the Bible says that when the shepherd is defeated, the sheep is being scattered. The worst enemy of the devil in this church is not you, it's the shepherd. Because the devil knows once the shepherd is out of the way. Let me say something to you. Some of you who have your father is still alive and you think your father is not doing enough for you or he is irrelevant to you. The day he dies, you know he's important. Even if your father is an occultic man, his being alive is covering a lot for the family. Go and ask those who are fatherless how they have been abused, how people insult them, because there is no more defense. Nobody is speaking for them again. I don't need to speak to somebody here. No matter how bad your father is, he's representing something. Oh. The day he dies, enemies, listen to me. There are certain enemies that can never encroach the territory of your family because your father is still alive. When they look at him, they move away. But when a man is not in the house, anything can happen. So it is in the church. When a church that the spiritual father is no more and there is nobody to take over leadership from him, there is no baton, there is no transfer of anointing or mantle to someone, and it's just like if the church is fatherless, there will be a loophole, there will be a problem. And the enemy is targeting that man, the head man. But where the problem lies is this. The people who are supposed to protect their father exposes their father. Yes. I repeat it again. The people who are supposed to do what? To protect their father exposes their father to danger, exposes their father to wickedness, instead of them to defend and protect. When Jesus was preaching the gospel, his disciples will follow him everywhere. They will follow him. They will guide him. They will follow. They know that he is important for them. They don't want to lose him. You don't understand what I mean? Even when they came to arrest Jesus, Peter did not know when he took a machete. He did it involuntarily. He didn't know when he did it. He just took a machete and cut the ear of Marcus. He was trying to defend. He knew that if something happens to their master, they are in danger. But it takes only those who knows the importance of fatherhood. It's not everybody. Yes, sir. Like I said, there are people now, they are crying because their father is no more, and they are saying, if I had known, I would have stood for my father when he was alive. May you not learn late. Amen. May you not learn late. Amen. But may you learn early. Amen. That amen is for you. I will be on top for me to receive strength to supply to you. You need strength to continue fighting. You need strength to continue until you defeat the Amalek. But you need a spiritual father that will stand on the gap for you, that will keep interceding for you, that will keep praying for you, that will keep anointing you. Because with his prayer you will go far. With his prayer you will succeed. With his prayer you will do exploit. With his prayer you will surely reach your goal. And the enemy knows that your spiritual father is important. That is why he is trying to separate you from him. He is trying to make sure that he weakens his hand so that what belongs to you that he ought to give you will not be given to you. Every battle that I am facing today is because the devil does not want what belongs to you that is in me to get to you. I wish I said something. It is left for you to say, this is the source of my strength. I must fight to maintain it, to keep it, to defend it, to protect it. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? There are two people you need in life. Apart from God Almighty, who is your maker, there are two people you need in life. Number one is the person that is more anointed than you. Listen, your destiny is wonderful. You are great, you are anointed, you are powerful, and you will make it. You will make it. Amen. Nobody is your God. No human being is your God. Yes. Huh? Yes. And nobody have right to enslave you. Yes. But there is somebody that have what you need. There is somebody, listen. There is somebody that is carrying grace. Everybody listen, say grace. Say after me, grace. Can I ask you a question? Why did you wake up this morning? It's by the grace of God. Why are you still alive? It's by the grace of God. Why are you surviving in Dubai? It's by the grace of God. Why are you achieving what you're achieving? It's by the grace. Now, how many of you want to end well in life? Everybody want to end well in life. How will you end well in life? It's only by grace that you will end. Now, listen. God has said you will make it, you will be great. Your destiny is mighty. Is it everybody that received that prophecy that ended well? No. When you go to the graveyard today, there are people that received that prophecy but they died on the way. There are people that could not fulfill their destiny. There are people that could not continue. Is somebody hearing me? Because they received the mandate, but there was no grace to help them. They were unable to attach to themselves to a higher grace they needed to carry on. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. Life is not easy. But he that received grace from God, grace is the spiritual enablement that helps you to fulfill your destiny. Receive divine grace now by fire. That I cannot hear. Now the problem is many people do not understand that they need to locate someone that carry a greater grace higher than the grace they have. Elisha saw something in Elijah and he said, I am also a prophet, but I need a higher prophet. I need a father. I need a master. I need somebody I can work with, that I will be able to receive double of what he had for me to overcome challenges before me. And he followed Elijah successfully and he served under Elijah. He was faithful under Elijah. He was patiently waiting for the Lord. And on that blessed day, brothers and sisters, there was a transfer of double anointing upon him, to the extent that Elisha did more than Elijah. Somebody is not following me. And the day Elisha finally died, where he was buried, a man in Israel was equally buried in that same place. That was after many years that Elisha died. And the Bible says immediately that man was buried in the sepulchre of Elisha. The anointing and the power in the bones of Elisha touched the dead body, and the dead body came back to life. Moses and Joshua at the same time. Joshua followed Moses because he knew that with the anointing in the life of Moses, I will make it. And he followed Moses and he obeyed and he was faithful, And on the day that Moses rounded up his ministry, the Lord God Almighty appeared to Joshua in Joshua chapter 1 verses number 5. And the Lord said to Joshua in Joshua chapter 1 verse 5, as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you. No man will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. There is nothing greater than that. You don't need money, you need grace. You don't need talent, you need grace. You don't need help from any man, you need grace. Jump up and shout, by the grace of God. But the problem is, many people fail to know where that grace that is meant for them is. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? You need he that is anointed more than you. Because with that grace, that word that God spoke in your life will come to pass. It doesn't mean that that man is your God. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. Nobody is your God. But at the same time, for God to fulfill his promises in your life, he will use somebody. He will use a human. God cannot come down from heaven and do it. He will use somebody. And that person he will use is somebody that is more anointed and more experienced than you. But we are having a generation of people who believe they can do it on their own. That was why I asked you earlier on to clap with one hand and you couldn't do it. You can't do it on your own. You need somebody. You need people. Number two person you need is your destiny helper. Unless you locate your destiny helper, you will be at one spot. After this night, somebody will locate his helper this evening. Your helper will locate you. I don't know how it will happen. I am prophesying now. I don't know how it will happen. Somehow, God will connect you to your helper tonight. This weekend, God will connect you to your helper. God will connect you to your helper. Somebody that said to you, I feel like helping you. I just like you. He is not saying he likes you because he likes you. There is something that connects you to him. Because out of heaven, he has been destined to be your helper. So when he sees you, that thing that God connected you with him will reflect to him that he is sent to help you. And another thing is that he will not have rest until he fulfills. He will be having this feeling that he needs to help you. He just has to help you. And if he doesn't help you, he will not rest. He will not sleep. He will be restless. Do you understand? Have God ever spoken to you to do something for someone and you never rested until you did it? I don't know. Am I speaking to somebody? That is how it is when God brings your helpers to you. They will never rest until they accomplish that assignment. Stand up and say to 5 people, protect your source of strength. Protect it. Defend it. Don't expose it to danger, but protect it. If I had known that you will be of help to me tomorrow, I would have defended you yesterday. Yes, I wouldn't have insulted you last year. If I had known that through you I will discover my talent. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody here tonight. I wouldn't have neglected you the first day I met you. If only I had known that through you I will become what God said I should be. I would have been praying for you to do more than you are doing. Because if you are blessed, I am blessed. In fact, let me tell you, there are people you need to pray more than you pray for yourself. Because unless they succeed, you will not succeed. Pray from now till tomorrow. Unless your destiny helpers succeed, you will not succeed. Beginning tonight, begin to pray for your destiny helpers. And the problem is that your mind is believing somebody for miracle, whereas that person is not your helper. There is somebody you are trusting now for favor. There is somebody you are trusting now for promotion, but that person is not your helper. Listen, don't expose the source of your strength to danger. I love Joshua so much. Joshua defended Moses until the day Moses entered the grave, and God was recording it. And God came to Joshua and said, as I was with Moses, anytime I read that place, my body shakes. as I was with Moses, so will I be with you. No man will ever stand against you all the days of your life. Do you know what it means? That is a powerful statement. That is a powerful promise from God. No man, no power, no demon, no opposition, no enemy will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so will I be with you. The same victory I gave to Moses, I will give to you. The same testimony I gave to Moses, I will give to you. The same battle I fought for Moses, I will fight. So many people exposes their source of strength to danger. When your father have problem, there are some people immediately their father dies, the problem starts. Ask many people now, you discover it is that day their father died, their sorrow started. So many of you could not go to school because your father died the day you were supposed to. I don't know if somebody is there. There are people today, their destiny helper dies, their destiny dies there. Because it will take a long time for eternity to choose a replacement for your destiny helper. These things are spiritual. I don't know if I'm teaching students. Am I teaching primary school students here? Or am I teaching mature Christians? It will take a longer time for God to find a replacement for your destiny helper. So the best option, let him not die in the first place. Amalekites are wicked people. That was why when God sent Saul to kill them, he spared them. And that was why God was angry with Saul. And God said to Saul, you know what you have done? You've destroyed my relationship with you. And because you spared the Amalekites, he killed some and left some. And the worst part, he spared the main person that he should have killed. King Agag by name, he spared Agag, and he didn't know that Agag was the main enemy. Whereas God instructed him, when you go there, destroy everything, man, woman, oxen, sheep, cattle, starting from the king down. He went and he spared the fattest animals there and spared the king. And it was the king that wanted him out of that seat as the king of Israel. Exodus chapter number 17 from verses 8, I start afresh. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim, and Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men, and go out fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. That rod of God in the hand of Moses is the rod that will supply strength for him to keep on fighting until he defeats. And the enemy does not want that rod to keep staying in the hand of Moses. So far that rod remains in the hand of Moses, Joshua will keep on winning. So far your spiritual father is still standing on your behalf. The worst thing that can happen to you is to have problem with your spiritual father. The day the devil wants to destroy you, he will just put problem between you and your father. It can kill. It has a serious setback. Is somebody hearing me? Yes. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for your spiritual life. So Moses went to the mountain. All of you, are you hearing what I'm saying? Some of you here have more than 10 spiritual fathers. 10. If you open your phone now, Pastor KINGSLEY that is there are more than 5 in number. Pastor KINGSLEY 1, Pastor KINGSLEY 2, Pastor KINGSLEY 4, 5. I never see where one man have your biological father, they 5 in number. 5 men slept with your mother. And then impregnated her, she gave birth to you. Is that possible? If 5 of them slept with your mother, who gave birth to you? It's only one. And that is how it is in the spirit. You can have spiritual advisors and spiritual instructors, but only one spiritual father. And what are the signs to know that this man is your spiritual father? Anytime you hear his voice, you have peace. That's number one sign. Number two, anytime he speaks in your life, something must happen.
Yes.
Number three, anytime you hear his message, there is this transformation that happens in your life that never happened when you hear other messages. You might hear other messages and receive encouragement and receive, but when you hear his message, you'll be transformed. It's like a load is offloaded from you. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. Number four, you always feel his presence around you. Just like in your house, if you are attached to your father, you know, there are some families. It's very good for a man to train his children by himself. Please, if you are married here, stop saying evil things to your children about their father. It has destroyed many families. No matter whatever is happening between you and your husband, keep the children out of it. Verse number 10. So Joshua did as Moses has said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Moses, Aaron, and Hur was the three men that went there to support them. Support Joshua to keep on fighting. If you are in Dubai and you are facing a lot of challenges, you need a lot of spiritual backup. If there is no church, no spiritual father that backs you up, you will get tired in the way of battle. The battle of life is a tough one. The battle for you to succeed in a week, it takes grace. It takes a lot of strength. Those of you that live in Dubai, you know how Dubai is. It takes only God. Somebody hearing what I'm saying? And I wonder, there are people, they don't have Satan, they don't have God, they don't have. And I used to ask, how are they surviving? They don't go to native doctor, they don't go to church. They are just there. And you ask them, they will tell you, I don't have any enemy. And that is what the devil wants you to believe. That nothing is fighting you when you are already in bondage. Satan is wicked. He wants you to believe that nothing is wrong with you. When that person has spiritual problem. So when they went to the mountain, look at what happened in verse 11. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand. May the hand of your spiritual father never go down. The problem is that you are the one pushing it down. The man is trying to raise it up. Instead of you are the one pushing it down. You are helping the kingdom of darkness to push the hand down. The man is refusing to go down, but you are pushing the hand down every day with your character and non-committal attitude and ungrateful spirit, unfaithfulness and complaint and murmuring. These are the things. It's not as if you are pushing the hand down because you willingly do it. No, you are not doing it willingly. But because of your carnal behaviors, because of your disobedience and murmuring and all sorts of carnal things you do, spiritually you begin to push his hand down, because when all these reports are coming to his head, he's thinking about the well-being of the church, thinking about the spiritual welfare of the church, thinking about the finances of the church, thinking about your problems. All these thinkings and all these challenges will be bringing the hand down. It is only a sound mind that can prophesy. Prophets need sound atmosphere to prophesy. There is no prophet that can prophesy fluently under a complicated environment. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Stand up, say to 5 people, help your father to live long. Can you stand up now? Waiting for somebody to die before you start announcing him. Oh, he's a great man. You start talking about him after death. When he's alive, immediately he dies, You see some so-called people begin to talk about him. He was a nice man. Celebrating the dead. God forbid. God forbid. Thank God for Aaron and Hur. They were so spiritual and they understood that they needed this man to be sound for them, to be healthy for them, to be happy. Happy. When your spiritual father is not happy, it have spiritual implications on you. When your spiritual father is not happy, it is not healthy for you. But when he is happy, you are blessed. He don't need to talk. Miracle will flow. When your spiritual father is happy, he doesn't need to pray for you. Just because he's just that he's happy alone, miracle will begin to happen in your life. Things will begin to happen. Do you know that when your spiritual father remembers you and he's happy about you, where you are, you'll be prospering. Yes. Just remembering you. But when he remembers you and he remembers that you are a stubborn son, you have done this, you have done, and he is not happy, the angel will turn against you that time. Is that correct? Yes, sir. But so many people don't know all these things. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. There are some people in African culture, they say that when you call somebody's name, the person will begin to sneeze where he is. You sneeze now, you say, who is calling me now? They are calling me so. Do you believe that? Some of you believe it works. Immediately you sneeze. You know, when you are sneezing, you must call Calabar name 80. Efion. Praise the Lord. But the one that surprises me is, why is it that when you remember somebody, he will call you immediately? Have it happened to you before? Yes, sir. You just remembered somebody, or you are talking about somebody, the person called you. If that happened to you, lift up your hand. So what is it? What do we call that? Huh? Stop speaking grammar. Where do you learn it from? It says coincidence. Praise the Lord. It shows that the mind is a strong vessel to communicate. When you are happy with someone and that person when you are unhappy with someone and that person is guilty, it will affect him. That is why I always preach forgiveness in this church. And when it affects him, it will also affect you. Because happiness and joy makes you live longer. People die young today because of depression, unhappiness, bitterness. It is scientifically proven that if you stay unhappy for a long time, it affects you. It shortens your lifespan. Yes, sir. You don't believe that? People who live happy and joyful, they live long. Long life is not money, happiness. Please try to be happy. No matter what you're passing through, be happy. In fact, don't be happy, be joyful. Happiness, every happiness expires in every 5 minutes. But joy, nothing can take away your joy. Whether you have money or not, your joy. Can you say louder amen to that? Jump up and shout, nothing shall take away my joy. Don't be among those that slander men of God. They carry a lot of burden. Even in their own wound, they are carrying other people's wound. Even in their own challenges, they are praying for you in their closest. Don't slander men of God. Nobody have right to judge a man of God. Only God have that right. And nobody called a man of God. Only God called him. Praise the Lord. I'm talking about genuine preachers that know what they are doing. Don't slander men of God. Don't judge them. Don't scandalize them. Pray for them. Even those who are called but they are making mistakes, pray for them that God will help them. It's not easy. They are also human beings like you. They carry flesh and blood in their body. And every human being makes mistake. Only God is perfect. There is this man of God in Nigeria that everybody respects. The general overseer of Deeper Life Bible Church. Pastor. People started slandering him that he went to visit President Buhari last 2 weeks. And why should he go and visit somebody that is killing the whole nation? And I said to them, this man you are slandering is somebody that have been in faith for years, have been preaching salvation for years. For more than 40 years I've been in the message of truth. And instead of you to thank God for keeping him, is it easy to be in faith for such years? And they say, why did he go to Asorok? Why did he go and he have joined other pastors? He's now a political pastor. That is very wrong. That is very, very wrong. Somebody who has a spirit of God in him will never join people who scandalize preachers. Do you know what God told him to go and tell him? Were you there when they met? Do you know what he told him? Stop scandalizing preachers. And we have all these native doctors who are false preachers. You have not talked about them. It is a genuine preacher you are attacking. Do you want to live long? It's very dangerous to join those that scandalize men of God. Somebody say better amen. Amen. Somebody say, I will not detach myself from my source of strength. The enemy knows that if you are attached completely to the source of your strength, you will make it to the end. So that is why he will always bring people that will discourage you, that will force you to compromise, so that you will be detached from your source. So you stay alone and die alone. Because when you are detached from your source, which is Jesus Christ, amen. I pray for you, you will not be detached. Amen. I cannot hear your amen. Amen. I said, I cannot hear your amen. If you abide in me and my word abide in you, everything you ask of me, it shall be done unto you. John chapter 15 verse 7. If you abide in me, make sure that nothing detaches you from the source of your strength. And your source of strength is only Jesus Christ. I can do all things. Let nothing detach you from that source. I can't hear your amen. Exodus 17 verse 11. Are you there? And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. When Moses lifted up his hand, what happened? Israel prevailed. Because anointing will flow more. Power will flow more. Because his hand is up, the anointing begins to flow. The mantle becomes stronger because his hand is up. What are the things that will make his hand up? Because of your commitment, because of your obedience. Your obedience, your commitment, your prayers, your faithfulness will keep the hand up. And when the hand is up, the anointing will flow. And when the anointing flows, victory is yours. Power will flow, and God will give you victory. Can you say better? Amen. But when the hand is down, when the hand is down, the enemy begins to prevail. The battle increases from the enemy's side. From the enemy's side. I have never seen one person that can clear a whole forest alone. It's never possible. I can never see a tree that can make a whole forest at the same time. It's never possible. It's only the association of one or two trees, even if the trees are not 4 in number. So far there are more than 4, 2. Something is happening there. And in verse 12, and Moses, but Moses' hand were heavy. Please note that word heavy. Can you lift up your hand like this? I remember, bring it down. I remember in primary school, our teachers then, if they want to punish us, they will say, hey, you come here, kneel down, lift up your kneel down, lift up your hand, close your eyes. And if he's a wicked teacher, he will leave you there for 2 hours. So after some time, you do like this. You look at him, you lift it up. And he remove, you bring it. Because you can't keep it up for a long time. But if he's a wicked teacher, he will make sure he's looking at you, and your hand will be there for, you will be dying. And when the hand is so heavy, another thing, anger. You'll be angry with him, you will not be happy. No, you don't understand. If they give you a gun, you can shoot him. Because you see him as a wicked person. That is what you are doing to your pastor. Yes. Yes. When the whole battle is on one person, frustration, depression, bitterness, sometimes you ask, why is it that this man is always angry on the altar? I'm a human being. You can't beat a child and ask him not to cry. Can you beat a child and say, don't cry, please? You are beating him. It's not possible. And when the hand of Moses is heavy, like, brother, sleep. Sleep. That place, he didn't sleep very well. Come. He just came out from war front. Bring him out. Please celebrate this testimony. He came out from, is it Awil or Abu Dhabi? Awil. He paid visit to Awil. God brought him out. No wonder he's just sleeping. I think he reduced small there. What have you been eating there? Palata? Huh? Kupus. What is kupus? Have you gone there before? Huh? And what kind of drink? Juice or water? Tea? We thank God for you. You will not go back there again. I hope you preached there. Other people go, they preach, they convert people. They evangelize. Are you sure you preached? Go. He went there and he learned how to bob his head. You see, I have been telling him for long now, bob this hair, bob this hair. I remember Julius, when Julius was in jail, he said, that was in 2008, he went to jail. He said because before he went to jail, I told him to barb his hair. He neglected it. That time he used to look rugged, his hair scattered everywhere, So after that warning, he went to jail. He had problem and went to jail. On the second day, he said he saw me in the dream and I said to him, do you want to come out? He said, yes, I have barbed your hair. Immediately he barbed it, they released him. And from that time, you said, before he was deported, you see now he always cut his hair. It's not good for God to always train you in his way. It is always hard. May you humble yourself so God will not qualify you. Can you say better amen? Amen? Verse 12, but Moses' hand were heavy. Why was the hand heavy? Because the hand have stayed up for too long. For too long. Nobody's helping to keep it up. And he needed to keep the hand up because the church must keep growing. Souls must keep coming to Christ. Joshua must keep winning in that battle. If he drops, because he knows that the enemies, they are very wicked, they are very determined. So if he drops down his hand, 1 minute is enough for the enemy to cause damage. So he determined not to keep it down, but he was dying in silence because his hand was heavy. And the hand was heavy because it had stayed up for too long. No support. Nobody was supporting. He was there doing it alone. No help. But suddenly something happened. Go back to that verse 12 again. And they took a stone. Who took a stone? There need to be Aaron and Hur in the ministry of any preacher. Any preacher that is alone. Only God will help him. If there is no Aaron and Hur are people that walk in revelation, that knows that this man, they need him to be alive for them to be alive. They need him to be alive for them to succeed. And secondly, they need to support him for him to continue. So when they noticed that the hand of Moses was heavy, look at what they did. Verse 12, are you there? They took a stone and put it under him. Number one, sit down, sir. You have been standing for too long. That was what that stone was for. Sit down, sir. They said to Moses, this, you have been standing up and lifting up your hand. So the first support we will give you, sit down. When we now solve that first one, then we talk of how to help to support that hand. So he sat down, verse 12, are you still there? And he sat thereon. Then, secondly, when he sat down, secondly, and Aaron and Hur did what? Stayed up his. The one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. Moses was sitting, then Aaron now, held his hand like this, supporting. Hur was holding the other hand, supporting. He breathed and said, he relaxed, he refreshed. And then battle was going on. Joshua was still fighting because the anointing was flowing. But if they had left him, he will be standing and he will wear down, become tired, no support. He can't stand for too long. Peradventure, he will even collapse there, and then the enemy will take overhand. But they understood that he needed help. They understood that he needed support. They understood that everything is on his head. They needed to support him. They needed to encourage him. They needed him to be encouraged. Your pastor is a human being. It's not only you that need encouragement. Everybody here, I want to see the man of God. I want him to pray for me. Pastor, prophesy to me. Pastor, my mother is sick right now. Pastor, I have no job. Pastor, I need help. Pastor, need your encouragement. Pastor, need your support. Pastor, need your help. Pastor, need your prayer. He himself need help. It is only when you support him, encourage him, empower him, that he will live and he will be strong to stand for you, to pray for you. Stop draining your pastor. Stop using your pastor. You are exploiting your pastor. You are using your pastor. You are using him. You are exploiting him. You are taking what is in him. I want prayer. I want help. I want financial help. There is one here now. He's waiting for me now. Immediately we share the grace now. He just wants me to give him money to go for visa change. He's here. He's waiting now. He's waiting. He will not close his eyes when we are praying. He knows when I'm going. Visa change. Pastor, I need it. He doesn't even know whether I have it. He doesn't care. Pastor, whether you have it or not, I need the money this night. And if I don't give it to him, he will feel I have it and I don't want to give him. Maybe he will hear what has been done for others. He will feel there is partiality. What of the other one you did it for? What of the other one? But when there are cases that are much, how can you handle all the cases? 50 people need help in the church. On one man's head, the pastor. Pastor will give you spiritual food. He will give you financial blessing. He will pray for you. He will counsel you. He will even tell you what to do to get a new job. Help you do everything. Then what support are you giving to him? How are you encouraging him? Man of God, I thank God for your life. Your message is blessing me. I thank God for your prayer. It will go a long way to encourage you. Your message yesterday was a blessing to me. He will know God is using him. But after the message, you approach him, man of God, I need help. What about the whole message of that day? Were you not blessed by it? First of all, comment on the message. Comment on the preaching. I love your ministry. I thank God for your life. He will be happy. He will be encouraged. Pray for pastors all over the world. Pray for preachers. They are carrying a lot of burden. They have family, they have problems, but they leave it and they take care of your needs. Everybody here have demons following him or her. And when you come to church, the pastor prays for you, demons goes away. Demons are not happy that they are being chased out of your life. They come after him, they come after his health, they come after his family. Then you now help those demons by murmuring. Help those demons to fight him more. So you double the battle for him. You double the work for him. are many people in this church that God has blessed. What are you doing for God? Have it ever occurred to you that the church is a place where we receive blessings from God, and God has been blessing you? What are you doing for God? What is your commitment in the house of God? What have you even done for your pastor for once? This man that is standing for you, what are you doing for him? There are some people here, since I know them, they have never for one day said, man of God, you are my spiritual father. I'm doing this thing for you from my heart. Not even for one day. And they are members of the church. Aaron and Hur, they stood and they took up his hand. Moses, you are our spiritual father. You must live long for us. Do you know when your spiritual father hear you say, you will live long for us, he will be happy. He will know that some people care for him. Now, some of you say, Pastor, we love you. Pastor, we love you. Listen, let me tell you. Love is sharing. Love is caring. Love is sacrifice. Love is expressed in giving. It's not in speech. For God so loved the world that so he expressed by giving his son to us. Love is an expression. It's expressed in giving. When you say you love your pastor and you are using 90% of members of the church, they are just using the pastor. They use the pastor to build their houses, use the pastor to establish their marriage. Many people are here are married in this church, have children. Pastor will be training everybody. You're laughing. You exploit that. Take. Just taking and taking. Just you want help. Pastor is the one doing everything. Look at something. Moses. There was somewhere I read in the Bible. Do you know that day? It's as if I was so refreshed because I said, so this thing happened to this man. Okay, follow me to Numbers 11. Look at what happened. Numbers 11. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Numbers 11. And the worst part is that you are doing all these things for the people and they are still murmuring. They are not satisfied. Do you know the one that surprises me? The problem doesn't finish. You try to help them to solve problems. Problem is multiplying. Problem is multiplying. For example, this night if I say, let me cancel everybody now and pray for you. One by one. The next day, they still want to see you again. Is it not last Sunday we just had another? Do you know that anointing service is covered 2 or 3 things at the same time? You are receiving prophecy, you are receiving anointing, and you are receiving counseling.
Yes, sir.
One-on-one. But yet, it's not enough. Today now, a lot of people have come now. That one that happened on Sunday expired on Sunday. They want a new. I don't know if somebody is hearing me. There is no appreciation. You want to kill him. And when he dies, oh, his soul rests in peace. Oh, that day in the Lord, we know you are in heaven. You are in the hand of Jesus. We will meet you that day. You now look for another spiritual father. Numbers 11 verse 21. Numbers 11 verse 21. Can we read together? 1 to go. And Moses said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen, and thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. There are 600,000 people, and you want me to give them food. Food from where? Where do I get money to feed 600,000 men? How? There are too many. They are crying, we need food, we are hungry. So Moses has gone from being a spiritual father to a biological father. A biological father is someone that provides food for the family. So it's no more a thing of preaching now. You are no more coming to church now to hear preaching, to hear prayer. to receive counsel, to receive divine direction. You also want food. You also want house rent. You also want medical bill. The medical bill that is waiting for medical bill everywhere. People in the prison, they need ticket for their sentences is over. Everything is church. And when we talk about church, it is pastor. Because nobody cares in the church. Who will anybody call you? You bring anything? No, it is pastor. So many people need our help. They are in the prison. They need flight ticket. Their cases have been finished. They need somebody to buy ticket for them. They are there waiting. Many are in the hospital. Nobody is talking about them. Everybody is calling on phone. So many are stranded where they leave their house, check bounce, no money for house rent. More than 30 people in this church now, as I speak to you now, they are waiting for me to give their house rent for October. Then the worst part is not even house rent, food. Some don't even have what to eat. After service, so many people, they come from Ajman, some come from Sharjah, some come from Amakwin, and they need the church to give them transport money. So the whole offering you give, they give it back to you. That's what we do here every Sunday. Every Sunday, the whole offering goes, because this brother needs 20 dirham to transport himself, this one needs 50 dirham, this one needs 10 dirham, you know. And then on top of it, no encouragement. You still want more. And then this man must prepare to preach. He need to prepare, he need to pray. Like today, if I come to church and I am not preaching well, you will still complain. For some time now, man of God, I have not been preaching well. So upon all this whole thing, he still need to be in shape. He still need to be alive. He still need to be vibrant. He still need to be growing. He still need to prophesy. He still need to pray. He still need to do like he was doing. Like sometimes our members used to complain. I remember our pastor in 5 years ago when our pastor was our pastor. Pastor is no more pastor because you have reduced him. When pastor was pastor, I know pastor. Pastor is no more pastor. He have changed. He's now Pastor Pascal. I will talk today. When my pastor was my pastor, if he hold microphone, something happened. If you want him to remain your pastor, do your work. Be committed, and he will. When I come here and do what I'm supposed to do, there'll be no problem. When you do what you're supposed to do, and I'm doing my own, will there be any problem? No. The problem is when I come, I'm doing mine, I'm doing yours. Then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That was the day Pastor Precious came to me and said, "Sir, we love you." This man, he has a very soft mind. Very soft mind. If you see him, you have seen him. He doesn't hide anything. This is him. He doesn't hide it. He's just like that. Plain. I want to advise his wife. Where is the wife? You know, what you have, you don't know what you have. Don't see him now, he's my husband. Listen, you have a very big blessing here. Very big blessing. Sometimes what you have, you don't know it. Am I saying something now to somebody? Protect what you have. Pastor Precious will come and say, "Pastor, please, sir, don't worry yourself." He's the only minister here that always plead on behalf of the church. He always tell me, "Don't worry, things will be alright." He always encouraged me. This man, every time, because he knows that he have seen a bit of it. Sometimes some of them here will be wondering, how is this man how is he coping? That is how you should be doing if you love your pastor. Look at what Moses said. Numbers 11 verse 22. Shall the flock and the herds be slain for them to suffice them? That is, how many animals can we kill now that will be enough to feed this 600,000? How many? Shall we read together, everybody? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? Verses number 23. And the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord's hand was short? That thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. Look at verse 10. Go back again. The same Numbers 11. Verse 10. Are you there? Can we read verse 10 and 11? 1, 2, go. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in his door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. Now, before we read the next verse, let me explain something. When you murmur, God is not happy. Because he knows the effort his servant is putting. I know there is nothing I will do in this church now that will please all of you. But appreciate the little effort. Do you know upon everything that Moses was doing, Israel was murmuring? So God heard it, he wasn't happy. And then Moses was displeased. Now look at the next verse. Verse what now? Verse 11. Can we read together? 1 to go. And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou mayest lay the burden of all these people upon me? He said to God, you have afflicted me. You have laid this burden on me. I have not found favor before you. That was what he said to God. Because there is an extent you carry people, especially people that don't appreciate. If you appreciate, it's a good thing. It will encourage to continue. But when you are doing it, and the worst part is, some people will see it is my right. You don't understand the situation. It is my privilege. It is my right. So there is no appreciation whatsoever. And the Moses said unto the Lord, you have afflicted me. I have not found favor before you. Verses number. Can we read together? Look at the one that touched me when I read it. Verse 12. 1 to go. Have I conceived all these people? Have I begotten them, that you should say unto me, carry them in your bosom, as a nursing father beareth a suckling child, unto the land which thou swallowest unto their father? I don't even know who you are. You just came from nowhere and say, and begin to call me daddy. You know, they used to use that name to deceive me, daddy. Then, look at another deception. Look at another deception. Pastor, God is your strength. When I hear that one, God is your strength, then they will continue doing what God is your strength. They continue. So God is not your strength, He's my strength only. Pastor, God is your strength. Have I conceived the thing that scares him when he look at the crowd? Oh my God, 600,000 people, men only, not even women and children. Only men, 600,000. And in every gathering, children are always, and women also. So there were more than millions. Verses 13. Can we read together? 1 to go. Where should I have flesh to give unto all these people? For they weep unto me, saying unto, give us flesh that we may eat. That is what I'm passing through. People don't know whether you have or not. It's just like children. You know, when you have kids, 1 year, 2 years old, or toddler or infant, and at midnight you don't have food in the house and the child is crying. Will you tell the child, please just stop crying, tomorrow I'll buy food? No, it doesn't. That is how some of you behave. When the man of God is trying to explain to you, look at the situation of the church. You are coming to the same church where I am. You see things going on. You know what we are passing through. But yet, you don't believe it. You don't believe it. This man have millions in his account. Bring it. We have problems. Solve it. You are our pastor. You must be our pastor. And continue to be our pastor until Christ returns. They keep on, Moses said, they keep on crying to my ears. Give us meat. Every day they cry. And I don't even have this meat. There are even many. Where do I start from? And Moses cried unto God and said, Father, this burden is too much. And there is no other person they know, it's only me. There is no other person they cry to, it's only me. How do I carry them? If preaching of the gospel is to come to church and pray to people and preach, I think it's the easiest work. But you go beyond that to take care of their life. Do you know the worst part? Anybody that have any problem, health issue, they'll call the pastor. Somebody fainted on the way. Pastor, there is one member, your member. Don't carry, come eat. Now he is sick, now he's now my member. And you know Dubai, very delicate land. Anything, little thing that happens, you don't know what we're passing through. You don't know. And look at the next verse. Which verse is that? Can we read together? 1 to go. I am not able to bear all these people alone because it is too heavy for me. That is my open confession today. Yes, otherwise I don't pack my load. Also, it's not a laughing matter. So I need your cooperation. I need your cooperation. I need your understanding. I'm a human being. Moses was also a human being. He confessed. He said, Father, if you don't do something, I can't do it alone. They are too heavy. The work is too heavy. The work is too heavy. Now look at what happened. The one that shocked me. Verse 15. Can we read together? 1 to go. And if thou did toss with me, kill me. And I prayed out of hand. If I found favor in thy sight, let me not see my riches. I don't want to see it again. He came to a point where he couldn't bear it. See, look at where it's so painful. When the man of God is working, appreciate. It will encourage him to do more. Appreciate. Encourage him. Encourage him. But when he's working and no appreciation, all he'll keep hearing is gossip. God, even the worst part now is anytime I'm preaching and I mistakenly say anything about my family, the next day, the whole city, they gossip everywhere. You are gossiping with your pastor, murmuring, no appreciation, no encouragement, and he's working. He will get tired. He will get tired. He's a human being. He will get tired. But when he's working and there is appreciation, there is commitment, there is encouragement, and then there is prayer also. That's why I thank God for our ministers. Please clap for them. If not for anything, their prayer alone is going fine. They are praying day and night. All these things will help a lot. May God use this message to encourage somebody. Amen. I pray that you will not be among those. May you not be a blasphemer to the kingdom of God. Amen. May you bring joy to the kingdom of God. Amen. I say, may you bring joy to the kingdom of God. Amen. I'm not hearing you, amen. Amen. If there is anything that belongs to the church and you are holding it, bring it out. In the area of finances, in the area of material blessings, God is blessing you. You are not paying your tithe. You are not supporting the church financially. And then all these things, we use it for the church. I am not a material conscious pastor. You all know that. I'm not asking anybody to come and buy me a house or buy me a car. All I want is the problems in the church to be solved, so that the gospel can be preached. Can you say better? Amen? Amen. May there be repentance. Amen. God spoke to me 2 days ago. I cried as Moses cried, but spoke to me, and I'm encouraged. Because when God spoke to me, I was so happy. Yes, I was so happy. Go to Exodus 34. Look at what God showed me. He said, I have made a covenant with Jesus on mission. And that thing is still, as I'm talking now, my leg is shaking. Because when he said that, I felt different. There was this transformation that took place. That transformation brought revival and encouragement. Amen. There is a time that strength finishes. You need to be refilled. Yes. Elijah walked and walked and walked, and he got tired, and the angel of God came, gave him some bread, gave him water. Take, for the journey is still far. And when he took, he was strengthened. He continued. What the Lord did in my life 4 days ago strengthened me. So much. So much. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Look at Exodus 34. Exodus 34 verse 9. He started with complaint. So I started complaining about the church, people who are not appreciative, people who are not committed. And he said Moses did the same thing. Can we read verse 9? Exodus 34 verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in the sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, that is stubborn people. And pardon our iniquities and our sin, and take us for thy inheritance. And look at what the Lord told me in verse 10. Can we read together with a loud voice? And I said, go, make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord, for it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. He said in all of Christianity, that it had never been done what he will do. Amen. Nor in any nation, that it had never been done what he will do. Amen. When I heard his voice, I was so encouraged. So. And I pray that this courage will continue. Amen. And I pray also for you that, because most of the things that the enemy wants to do is because of my refusal to give up. That is why God did not allow it to happen. My refusal. There are a lot of things, strategies, enemies, a lot of plans, a lot of attack, death, manipulation. But because this man is standing, early this year, something happened. I said to God, that was when I feared God in this church. God is here. God is here. God is here. God is here. And he never breaks his covenant. You see this place we read now? As I'm speaking to you now, my body is shaking. I will do marvels. And I will do a great thing in all the earth that have never been done, even in any nation. I will go with you. I will do a mighty, terrible thing with you. Nations will come to Christ. Revival is setting in. Great thing is about to happen. I tell you. I'm urging the church, let us work together. Can you stand up? We're going to work together. And I want you to talk to yourself and pray. You see, last Sunday there was a prayer I gave to the church. That prayer is for personal encounter. Talk to yourself and promise yourself that you will never be a barrier to the gospel. you will never be a blasphemy to him. That because of you, nations will come to Christ. Through you, nations will come to Christ. That you will be a great vessel. You will not bring a problem in the body of Christ. You will not be a vessel, a tool of evil in the hand of the enemy. You will never be, can you begin to prophesy to yourself and pray? That you will never be a tool of destruction. You will never be a tool that the devil will use to be fighting the church. If the devil must use somebody to fight the church, exempt yourself from that. And transfer yourself to the hand of the angel of God and say, I will be a vessel of honor. I will be a vessel of great assignment. I will be a vessel in the hand of our Lord Jesus Christ. Can I hear you? Can I hear you? Can I hear you? Can I hear you? Pray and say, Father, I will be a vessel of signs and wonders, vessel of miracle, vessel of honor. I will never be a disgrace. I will never be a blasphemy.